even better basis. That is very, very important to us. When we think about working with universities, it's not just the computer science department. It's really very broad because of the role that software is playing. And you see this trend in terms of the interdepartmental work that goes on in the university today. If we think of the sciences, any science, but let's take biology as a particular example, the amount of data that they're dealing with has gotten huge. And so insights into the working of disease or the brain or any biological system requires very state-of-the-art software systems. And so we have to understand from these biologists, how do they want to represent the proteomic data, the genomic data? What sorts of searches do they want to do? And bring the very best software techniques to those problems. We have an initiative that we call the Technical Computing Initiative, which is to reach out and understand those problems and even have some of our top researchers work in that area. I've got one example I want to show you, which is the idea of looking at the brain and the connections in the brain. And this particular collaboration is with Jeff Lichtman, who's at Harvard. And so quickly we'll run a little video where he'll talk about the challenge that he's facing, and then I'll talk about how collaboration with state-of-the-art software can be an element of the breakthroughs he's looking for.
I'd like to tell you today about an exciting collaboration that's just starting up between me and several of my colleagues in the Center for Brain Science at Harvard University, and another group at Harvard University in the Initiative for Innovative Computing with Microsoft. We know less about our brains, actually, than any other part of our body, and I would even go farther than that. I would say we know less about our brains than anything that human beings know about. It's that mysterious. For us to understand many disease processes and the way the normal brain works, we really need a wiring diagram of a brain. You would need a hard disk that is approximately 1 million petabytes. Many of you don't know what a petabyte is, I bet. A petabyte is 1,000 terabytes. And a terabyte is 1,000 gigabytes. So one human brain requires 1,000 billion gigabyte hard disks. So we're going to start even smaller than that and look at a little cubic millimeter of a mouse brain. That's about a petabyte of data. That's almost manageable today, and we've built a radically new kind of microtome to shave off one layer after another in little volumes like that, put them on tape, and then image them. And we were very pleased that Microsoft already has developed several tools that are really wonderful to get us started. And I want to...
All right, let's take a look at how software can help with this problem. So this is one of those slices that he talked about where they're going in at a very, very thin layer by layer basis and acquiring essentially image data that then they want to put into a software system and start to do some recognition to understand these various connections. So we can see this image here, and what we've got is a piece of software we call HDView that lets you navigate in this image in a very rapid way. We can zoom in, see different things, and this is using the kind of graphics capability and bandwidth that are now available to create new types of visualization. So it's not just a set of static photos, it's a structured database view. One way you can see that is we're seeing it on edge, so you can see these different layers. I can take one and put it into focus, and then I'm stepping through here and looking at layer by layer. But by having this in a database and providing certain operations that are very efficient, now we can take and do sort of the equivalent of visual recognition, where we look and we try and find boundaries. This is an image processing algorithm applied to this. And then we take a machine learning approach to try and take those boundaries and figure out what the different features are, and then start to fill those in. And so this is the kind of thing that will eventually give us that, what he called connectome, that database, and that we can start to reason about that. How does it change over time? How does it represent things? This, of course, is one of the more complex areas that will take lots and lots of work, but only with software can we be optimistic about the progress that will get made here. So broadly, from astronomy to particle physics to biology, in the same way that mathematics was the handmaiden of the sciences up through the 1900s, now software and very rich systems are the handmaiden today. And we love this because these scientific problems actually take our software and push it to new limits. And many of the things that we invent here for technical computing are actually very applicable as we move into the broader commercial space, as we look at data mining and patterns and parallel computing. And so to have this to kind of push the limits is very, very important. When we think about new energy systems that are environmentally friendly, or we think about the designs of vaccines, it's going to be state-of-the-art software combined with domain experts that really make the big breakthroughs there. Another big important thing for us in terms of innovation is reaching out to students and making sure that they have access to the latest software tools.